Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to another episode of Nufftingz Speaks with your host, Nufftingz. So we're going to talk about something that, y'all hate me talking about, but I enjoy talking about this because it's so funny. Pokemon Go. Well, Pokemon in general. So, number one, I like to give my condolences to the lady that worked in Tokyo at the Pokemon Center. And yeah, if you read that story, it's pretty sad. She was getting stalked, went to the police, and apparently Japan doesn't have a lot of crime, so they didn't really care. And dude went out there and poked her, and yeah, that's just like. And then this gives more reason for women to hate us. Like, oh, men are crazy. Yeah, some of these guys they need a hug. Anyways, let's talk about what we're gonna talk about here. So we're gonna talk about good old Pokemon Go and a lot of stuff going on, right? And I want to say that majority of times when I do these, I run the transcript by Chat GPT to make sure there's nothing incriminating that I say. But, you know, it's always, getting mad at me for stuff, saying that, oh, I shouldn't say this, shouldn't say that. So I like cut out things. But this one I'm not cutting out. So here we go. So earlier I was on, I don't know if it was Threads or X, it was one of them. And because I used to do all this content, I still get Pokemon Go notifications on my timeline. I'm not even following these people when it pops up, right? So this one dude, I assume it's a dude because his picture, he goes, well, I just got Pokemon ZA and I wonder if it's any good. So of course people jump in there like, oh, game's so trash and it's the only game that I played once and I put it down and blah, blah, blah. And then other people are like, oh, I can't believe you bought the game and are asking. And it's like, it's the same type of energy that you get from Pokemon Go players, right? Now, what I don't understand, right, is, what is it that Pokemon players want, right? I believe, honestly, that a lot of Pokemon players include, like more Pokemon Go players, they're just not real gamers. Now, I see a lot of people posting up videos on Gigantamax, Pikachu, and whatever, right? And, you know, have any of you played a game that upset you so much because it was so hard, or it wasn't even hard, but you just couldn't beat a certain boss? You ever seen those videos where they'll show like people that crash out, like they just lose their mind? I remember this one dude took a sword to his monitor, and I was like, damn. Like, you never been so mad that you threw your controller at the wall, you threw it on the ground, someone's trying to talk to you and you yell at them like, ah, like, where you just lose your mind because you just can't beat this level. Well, since I've gone back into playing, more console games and all that, I'm noticing that a lot of these 360 games, these Xbox 360 games, are extremely difficult. Like you run through it pretty well, then you get a boss, and the boss is like so hard, you don't get save points, like checkpoints. And what's even funnier is like it makes you realize that a lot of the games that we play now, it's hand holding. They're not hard. Like, I mean, Dark Souls, Elden Ring, those are hard, but like once people find out they're hard, most people that don't like hard games won't play it, right? I need to run Elden Ring myself, and it's not that I didn't think Dark Souls was hard. I just didn't like it. But one day I might play it. But there's so many games that I have. I don't know if I can just keep I don't know if I can keep up. Is what I'm trying to say here. But anyways, so going back to this thing now. So you play a game and it's so hard. But then it's like when you play Gears of War. You beat that on insane. Have you guys ever like played a game like Gears, beat it on insane with no pants on? Like, what I'm saying? Like, you beat it on insane, while holding a bologna sandwich. Like, one of those things, bro. Like, it's like, have you ever felt that? Like, that's amazing feeling. But, you probably haven't. But what you will do if you're a Pokemon player, you'll complain that, this game doesn't run to your expectations. Like, you expect the game to just be magically perfect, right? Or if you're a Pokemon Go player, you get mad because, oh no, my Pokemon ran away, or oh no, what's another thing? The community, I can't get a slot into a gym. Oh no, like this is what you hear, right? So now, what I'm trying to say here is like, okay, you have a game. Like, I'm going to go to Pokemon Go for a second. You have a game like that, right? That never, that never updates the bad stuff, right? So you have a game that is just the only thing they update in that game is how much more money you need to spend. They don't update anything else. Like I don't play it, but I see what's going on. I see the complaints, and I see these YouTubers that still glaze the hell out of the game, and it's like, yo, you know, play something else. But you see, you can't play something else because if you're a Pokemon Go player or a Pokemon player in general, you don't want hard games. Like I've seen people complain about, oh yeah, um, can't play Legends Arceus because the graphics hurt my eyes, and like you can't play ZA because it's too fast paced. You like that turn battling. It's like, bro, you know that there's other turn battling games that just smoke Pokemon, right? I see people complaining that the new Pokemon Champions game it looks trashy because the graphics don't look as good as it did in was it Revolution? I played that game years ago. I forget what happens in it. I see people, playing that new, not new, but playing the, oh my God, oh my God, what is it called again? Pokemon, the one on the cube, man. What was the name of that game? I'm gonna pause and find out. Well, damn. When I paused, I remember Gale of Darkness with that Shadow Lugia on the front. I didn't even look it up. My brain is getting old. Anyways, Gale of Darkness was a great game. But did you guys know that there's been an update to it through some like modders where it's all new Pokemon and the graphics are updated and it looks superb? You know, a modder will give you a fan made game. It's the same game, but they make it they don't make it. They remaster it and the game looks phenomenal. Updated graphics, and you can't get that with any Pokemon game. Now, people be playing Leaf Green and all that Fire Red, and it's like, yo, then they're wondering why it's taking them this long to get stuff done. And it's like, bro, because you're playing games that didn't hold your goddamn hand. You know what I'm saying? You play some, like, right now, you can't get people to play Red and Blue. If you never played Red and Blue and you're a newer Pokemon player, you ain't playing Red and Blue. Get out of here. It's too slow. Now, I will say one thing. What they should have done is made it quad speed on Pokemon Stadium and let you actually play the games. But, they're not, ow, hit my hand. They're not going to like let you do that. Like, I remember playing Pokemon Stadium on N64 with the quad speed and you could run through, red with Charizard. Like I ran through it with a Charmander and, when I got to like level 50 at Tournament to Charizard, whatever, took me an hour to beat the game quad speed just with my Charmander. That was evolved in Charizard because people are like, yo, you need to beat with Charmander. You probably can get to level 100, you could do it, but it was fun. But you know, those were the perks of being a Now, I mean, there are a lot of you that are younger, you never played it, but your first game might have been Ruby and Sapphire or X and Y or whatever. But look, my point is, as I'm drifting off into, I'm just talking crap about the whole thing. I see the complaints coming from all sides. It's more Pokemon Go players, but I see so many of these regular Pokemon players that just cry about everything. And it's like, dude, play something else. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. I like CA. I have not played it since December. I don't care to play it. I am burnt out of Pokemon. Like, I want nothing to do with it game wise. I will see clips. Like, there's this one dude. He's on TikTok. You must know who he is. This black dude. He's got like dreads. I've talked about him before. He will show a video of him fighting like a Pokemon, like a Gigantamax or whatever, right? And he'll have his little song playing. And I'm like, it's been like that for months. It's just like it's this song playing, and he does his little TikTok thing, and he has people that join and whatever, and it's like, okay, it's like, he'll have these little community events. I don't know if he's hosting them, but he'll take pictures and whatever. And I'm looking at it like, okay, nothing's wrong with what you're doing. It's great, do you, boo boo? But Pokemon Go isn't the same way it was. Pokemon isn't the way it was before either. I read an article today that's probably nonsense, but Pokemon, as in Game Freak, is looking to have 10,000 different Pokemon. And I'm like, dude, honestly, man, we need a good 5 years of no Pokemon. Just chill. Here's what I would do. Stop making mainline games. After the new ones come out, I can't remember what they're called, Wind and something or whatever. Stop making them. Start making games that, are like side games. Like, do another Legends, right? Do side games, like do more mystery dungeons. Don't do Pokemon Pinball. Like, do another Snap with every Pokemon. I don't know if the new one has every Pokemon in there. I haven't played it, but I know the old one did it. Or it did have the amount that was out at the time. Anyways, my point is, right? Look, you can do so many side games. Do another Gale of Darkness, right? Do one where you saving shadow Pokemon. Like, that's Gale of Darkness, right? You're saving shadows, right? Do side games, right? If you want to do that. But like, bro, fix Pokemon Go too. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that people can stop crying. But they'll probably still cry anyways. Anyways, the point I'm making here is, as I'm just like talking nonsense to you, whatever, take a break. They could take a break with sending out so much content because they don't want you playing anything else, right? They want you to sit here and play this game over and over and over again. And it's like, yo, remaster the old games, make them, next gen pretty. You know what I'm saying? Unreal Engine, which one is it? Unreal Engine, Ruby and Sapphire. You know what I'm saying? Like, do something, like, have more, tournament based games, like have Pokemon Stadium 3 and have it like, you fight like a rival, but you fight like, you go from region to region. Like, have a game based on Ash. Sort of like Ash Gray, but like do what Ash was doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many things they could do. Like you could have a game where you play as Ash. Like, I'm going back to the Ash for a second. You could play as Ash, right? And you do the exact same things he does, but you have a choice. You could either do this way or that way. And if you do it another way, it's a different story. Like, have a game with like what ifs. Like, what if Ash never caught Charmander? What would happen to Charmander? What if Ash caught the Weedle at the beginning? You know what I'm saying? Have, what if Ash never gave back Greninja? Things like that would just add to it. But they just give you the most basic games, bro. Oh, look, you'll be able to jump over fences type of thing. Like, oh my God. Like, dude, what are they really giving you that's any different? Oh, now you get to, Mega Evolve and it has a timer. Like, what the hell, bro? And I mean, this is what I mean about also the community being hella toxic too. Like, you have these people, and I'm talking like a lot of Pokemon Go players Pokemon players in general. They're like 55 years old and crying about this game. I grew up on this game. It's like, bro, so did most of us. Like, stop it. Like, get over it. We get it. This game is so good. But I don't like how they didn't put these amount of Pokemon in the game. Like, oh, I don't like this Mega. It's so ugly. Like, bro, come on. Like, you grown. You know what I'm saying? Like, the fact that we still buy the nonsense is why they'll keep giving us nonsense. Like, it's not going to be any good. It's the same thing with Go. It's the same thing with any other Pokemon game that they release now that's, to make money. Unite got boo-boo. Pokemon Sleep was boring as hell. What other games do they have that they just shove down your throat? The TCG game. Does anybody still play it? Right now we have, Pokemon cards and people are kicking down other people to get Pokemon cards. Like you're seeing these grown people, running down the aisle trying to get some Pokemon cards. And they're taking them away from little kids and all this other stuff. And it's like, bruh, Pokemon sucks. like like the whole idea is so, you know, old now. Like if I really were to be honest with y'all, the whole concept is played out like a Jerry curl. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so played. It's like why? Why do we even care? Like when a game comes out, you play it for a little bit and then you move on. There's so many games you can play that pretty much have the same idea, right? And it's like, dude, they run so much better. Like, let's be real here. Pal World was way better than Pokemon. You can sit there and be mad at me and give me that dislike, which you're going to anyways. But Pal World was better than Pokemon. Like, let's be honest here. The Pal World, the Pals looked way better. I can't remember what they were called. But what did Pokemon Go? What did Pokemon Go? What did Pokemon do? They decided to try to can the game. All these lawsuits and stuff, and it's like, dude, they don't even want competition because they know they suck. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. Like, come on, man. And y'all just defend it, and then you defend on Monday and cry about it on Tuesday. It's like, dude, make up your mind. Either you like what happened to some good old like, do you remember when you'd hold a controller and your hands are sweating? You're trying to beat this level, and then when you beat it, you're so happy, you're so accomplished. When was the last time you had that in Pokemon? Any Pokemon. Any Pokemon game. When did you ever just feel accomplished after beating it? Or did you just sit there and go, no, that was fun. The story was alright. Like the only time I could say that I didn't feel accomplished, but I felt like the game wasn't bad was Scarlet and Violet. I thought the story was better because the story made sense to me. It was more grown. You know what I'm saying? It just made more sense because people were dying in that. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought that it was more adult, which would be cool if they had an adult Pokemon game, right? Anyways, my whole thing is like, look, there's so many games to play, so many consoles to buy, so many PC games that you can play. Run an Xbox, get Game Pass, get a PlayStation, get that new Wolverine game that's going to come out in September. We got Spider-Man games on Sony that are just amazing. We got games on Xbox. I can't even think of how many there are, but there's so many games on Xbox that are just unreal. Like graphics look good, the game runs good. Your Series X can actually run this stuff without blowing up. Like, you know what I mean? Like you could still go back and go nostalgia and run some 360 games. Like I have people that I know that never played the original Xbox. And they're like, "Yo, I wish I played it." Bro, I just ran Justice League what's it called again? Justice League Legacy, I think it is. The fact I can't remember the name, there's Young Justice Legacy and Justice League Hero. Sorry, my bad. And dude, I sat there for a good 6 hours playing this, and I'm like, yo, this game is actually good. And this is an Xbox game. Like, we're talking the big tank Xbox, man. That big one from 2001. That game was wicked. When did it come out? 2005 or something? Yo, the game ran beautifully. Loved it, man. Like even the graphics, like the cutscenes and all that look pretty damn good for the time. You know what I'm saying? Then you got, like Young Justice. I just played that. Hardly anybody knows that game even existed. I played that with my son. Game is wicked. Like, I mean, let's be real here. It's not the greatest thing. You can tell that they rushed it, but it was still a good old time. Me and my son had fun playing it. I still run, Plants vs. Zombies. I still run games from like even today I was playing Green Lantern. What's it called again? Green Lantern Rise of the Manhunters. Dude, that game was fun. I mean, there's some bosses that get you upset. I was playing Stranglehold the other day, another 360 great. I put all these games on my channel, man. You know, cutscenes, gameplay, whatever. Deadpool, another good game I played. Dude, there's so many old games you can run to and play them. You know, instead of playing pokey crap. Like, you know, you know what I'm saying? Like, pokey go nowhere. Like, pokey same thing over and over again. Like, it's just like, what the hell? You know, Pokemon, pokey money grab. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, dude, what are we doing? You know, like, are you, okay, let me ask. And if you're still listening to this, let me ask you. Comment down below if you can. Do you consider a Pokemon player that plays mainline games a gamer? Right? Now, another question. Do you consider a Pokemon Go player who only plays Pokemon Go a gamer? That's the only game they play. Do you consider that person a gamer? You know what I'm saying? Do you consider, you know, anyone that plays mainline games a gamer? Let me know, and we'll look at the comments and see if we like it. No, I'm just playing. We're not gonna see if we like it. We'll look at the comments, man. Like, yo, comment down below and tell me, like, yo, bro, do you think, like, yo, Nufftingz, I think that a Pokemon Go player is a gamer, or a Pokemon mainline player. I'm talking mainline games though, like Pokemon, either Pokemon Go, if they play it only, are they a gamer? And if you play mainline games, only mainline games, like you don't play nothing else, are you a gamer? Right? You don't play Mario, you don't play nothing. You got your Switch only for Pokemon, because we know there's a lot of you out there that only bought a Switch for Pokemon. Do you consider those people gamers? Anyways, I'll see you in the next video.
Another